Say hi to everyone, and I am waiting to see. Oh, why is the clock? Oh, wait, there she is. Hello, hello. Good morning. Hi, Cassie.
Hello.
Hold on, I'm going to shut off commenting, and I'm just going to give our little introduction. So, hello, everyone. Just a reminder, I'm Beth. I am known as Curvy Girl Beth across social media. I am here on YouTube, broadcasting what is happening on my Instagram live, and that's where you can see who's joined me, which is Karen Windsor. I'm in Los Angeles. She is in the UK, and we are two women with lipedema, and we are sharing our journey and what our exercise program looks like. We are working out together on Mondays to help you get some ideas for your own fitness journey, and then we kind of talk about what's going on. So that's who we are. Neither of us are certified personal trainers. Karen does run a wellness business in the UK called Sculpt and Change Therapies, where she helps people with all kinds of things, but primarily with lymphatic issues to help them gain more health in their own lives. So that's a little about us. Thank you for joining. Please make sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can know when we're here next. And it helps both of our accounts. And that's an easy way for you to help us without having to go out of your way. So thanks very much. On YouTube, super chats are enabled, so feel free to go ahead and send anything. And of course, badges on Instagram help us to continue creating. So just putting that out there for you to hit that button. Hi, Cassie, how are you?
Well, I've been better today. It was my birthday yesterday, and today I have been suffering inflammation overload.
Okay, let's send up some hearts for Karen's birthday. And I'm going to sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Karen, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to celebrate this year, considering that we haven't had much out of the house celebrating in a while.
No, this is a week of celebrating. So I've got quite a few things lined up, and then a couple of things lined up for the end of the week, which is exciting. But yesterday, although I enjoyed myself so much, and I couldn't be more grateful to my friends and family for what they did, my joints are hugely suffering today. So I've already done a workout this morning because I needed to just get things moving and try and move some of the inflammation out of my body. And this evening, we're not going to go crazy. I have a kettlebell, and we're just going to do some very sort of simple moves. We're going to do 4 moves. We're going to do what we normally do, 3 sets. And we're going to do about 10 to 12 reps on each exercise. And yeah, enjoy it.
Okay, perfect. All right, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm using a 5K kettlebell. I don't know what everybody else wants to use. We're going to start with something called Around the World. So by holding your core, we're going to take the kettlebell and we're just going to put it around the body. So we're going from one hand to the other hand. If you haven't got a kettlebell, use a dumbbell. If you haven't got a dumbbell, use a bottle of water. Or anything that has got some sort of weight to it. Okay, so we're going to go for 1, 2, 3. If you're having a problem with standing, put a little bit of a bend in your knees. I'm having to do the same because I don't want to knock out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can use this type of move as a bit of a warm-up. So we're going to go again. So we're going to go what's called around the world. We're going.
I'm going to switch. I have to switch my weight.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to take this down a bit. We're going to put a slight bend in the knees and we're going to go around the legs. So we're going to go 1, 2,
I'm not having much success.
3,
All right, now we're going to
4,
because I'm not going to get hurt today.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay, that is not easy for me to do.
11, 12.
Karen, that is not easy for me to do.
No, I know. It's not easy for me to do.
Okay, I figured it out. I'm holding the thing at the top.
Well done. Okay?
Wow. Okay.
Well done. Okay, we're going to go again, round the legs.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And up.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go around the world again. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect.
So
Down
for those of you who are going
through the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And up and rest. Have some water if you want.
Okay, so those of you who are going to ask, what I first started with was a 25-pound kettlebell. And that made me a little nervous because I was like, well, if I drop it, that's not going to be good. So I then switched to 12, but then that had the posts on the side. So that was a little cumbersome. And now I switched it out to end up with an 8. So way different, way different weights. But this one I was able to grab around the legs on the bottom. I don't think I would have been
Okay, so
that otherwise. So
we're going to do a 2-arm swing.
okay. Okay.
So slight bend in the knees.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. How are you feeling?
Good.
For anybody like me who's feeling quite a lot of inflammation in the knee, keep the knees slightly further apart and try and push the knees out. And then move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Give yourself 30 seconds. Move the knees if you're feeling it. Because I can feel it all the way through. Okay. So we go again. Remember to push the knees out. So straight back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay, how are you feeling?
Good. What's our next?
Okay. So we're going to do a one-arm swing. So, same move, push the knees out. 1.
Only with one arm?
2, 3,
Yeah.
4,
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And down. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Let me see if there's...
Hard saying it when you're doing it.
You what?
It's hard saying it when you're doing it, especially lifting that kind of weight.
The counting?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you're the one saying it.
Huh?
I'm thankful that you're the one counting.
Yeah. Blimey. Okay.
What is the weight that you use? You'd only know it in kilograms, though, huh?
It's 5 kilos I'm using.
Does anybody know what that translates to in pounds? What's a kilo to a pound? Don't know.
14 pounds to a kilo.
So, 60 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not there.
Roughly.
Okay. I was too concerned about... Hi, Nate. Glad you're here now. Nate says sorry he's late.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go around the world again.
On the all around the top. Okay.
Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Round the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Straight into the double hands. Knees out, like I said. Oh, we'll wait for Beth.
Sorry.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to go straight to one arm. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And down. And catch your breath.
Yes, so that when you don't have the ability to put your legs together because your knee pads are in the way,
it becomes harder.
What?
It becomes harder.
Yes, and it makes it harder to be able to grab that behind your legs. So that's why it takes a minute to figure out how you can get that.
It took me a bit of a minute because of the bend, because of bending in the hip.
Yeah.
How am I putting my legs? Are my legs am I going to be able to steady myself? All sorts of things.
Right.
But it's actual sweat because this is like
we work around it.
Weighted cardio.
Yes. And yeah, I'm realizing I guess I could use a lighter, well, I don't know, a lighter kettlebell and a heavier dumbbell that doesn't have the handles. So
you need to use what you need to use to start with and then build it up.
Correct. That's why I went to the lighter. Like this is lighter than what I would use at the gym, but I'm too afraid to use that one without the edges. So it's all right.
Okay, so we're going to do it again. We've got one last set and then we're done.
So we're starting with the double kettlebell.
The kettlebell, we're going around the world.
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, legs together, if you can. Get a bend in the hip. Bend down as far as you can without taking yourself over your joints. And round the legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're going to go into the 2 arm swing. Remember I told you to push your knees out. For me, standing with my legs straight causes a problem with my gait, so I'm standing slightly off, pushing my knees out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to go straight into the one arm. Okay, so again, push the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to switch it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and down. I'm done. Oh. That is half an hour of work, or 25 minutes, and that's all you need. Because most of those moves are all body moves. So even when we're going around the world, it is your core that is strong.
Right.
As you are taking yourself around.
Right.
And when you're back here, for your legs and your bent,
Right.
you're keeping your back straight, you're not hunching, and you're going around your legs.
Oh, this, yeah. When I was doing that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then pushing out with the knees for a double swing. Again, we've got the straightness. You're holding your glutes.
Yep.
And you're holding your core. So all of this is tight. And then with the one,
on the way up.
exactly the same.
Right.
Hold the core, hold the glutes, and push them out. Because that way, you're not causing a problem by going over the top.
Right.
Which for me is going to cause a problem in the insides with the hypermobility. But that is just me, so not everybody has to follow that. That's what works for me.
Those are all good tips, and
yeah.
You know, with me, you can't see where my knee is directed because you can't see my knees. So, but yes, putting them, there is a fine place to position them, that one is going to be more taxing than the next, and one is going to give more flexibility and mobility. So you just have to find that right spot for you. And as you could tell, that was not, you know, this is me standing with my legs together. So it's not like you wouldn't think that, but there's not, I mean, I can do that for a second or so, but then that like puts pressure on the knee to then go completely off. And it feels like it feels literally like two kettlebells rubbing next to each other. That's how hard that feels. Yeah. So that's just
has created so much sweat.
That's very good, Karen. I would have done the same had I had the proper weight. I'm now thinking that because I don't like to have to get new equipment if I don't have to. So I'm like, oh, I could certainly wear my shoes and that would feel a little bit more protective, but I could put like the pool noodle on the edge of the on this set, because you know this is the kind of set that changes, so it would be actually really great to use, because each week I could just go up in my,
Yeah, no, it's a good step.
you know, so that would be great. And I actually have enough pieces to go, like I have 2 sets of these, so I could go really big, you know, really heavy. They could get to be really heavy, but for now I could put like a pool noodle on the edge to not want to injure myself with the prong. If I was doing that, if I was just doing standard lifting.
In my face at the moment, so I'm going to sit here whilst
we're
talking, and I am going to remove some of this because it's uncomfortable around my jaw.
You're seeing it clear from the workout, or no?
Yeah, from the workout, I can see the inflammation building up, but everybody who's watching will be able to see that inflammation disappear. Because my lymphatics are playing up. So yeah, you can see where it's all going away.
What are we doing? Where?
Okay, so we're going in L's. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go, I'll tell you what, we'll open up the channel first. So we're just going to either do what I would normally do, which is the 10-10-10, or you can just massage it very lightly on the top to open it up. See, I can already feel all of that in my throat.
And this is good for everyone, not just people with lymphatic issues.
Oh no, this is good for everybody. So. And then we're going to go into the L. And we're just going to take from the nose. We're going to pull out towards the lymph line. Can you see the hairline? Mm-hmm. And we're just going to give it a shake. And then we're just going to take it into the lymphatics down the side. So all the way down the side, past the ear, into the lymph. All the way down, past the ear, into the lymph. So we're going to do it again. We're going to go from the nose, all the way out towards the ears. Give it a nice little shake. And then we're just going to take it all the way down. And you can see how my cheekbones have come back in, the alignment of my chin. And that's because I'm holding on to so much inflammation from simply having a little bit of a birthday yesterday. And unfortunately, this is something that, because my body goes into what's called inflammation overdrive, which is what my physio told me, it is something that I've got to keep on top of 24/7, because as soon as the inflammation comes in, what's happening is it's coming in as a protective shield to everything in my joints and everything in my body. So the inflammation is going, we need to protect her, when actually a normal amount of inflammation would be fine. But this comes in really fast, and it's an inflammation override. And that's because of the nerve problems within hypermobility, EDS, but also fibromyalgia. Because I'm prone to a flare, right, the body wants to protect me before that happens, and so it sends inflammation in, and then I have the overkill, and it's harder to get out. So like in that video that we've just done in the background, you could see my bike, and that is something that I have to use straight away to get rid of the inflammation in my knees, and exercise, which I've now done 2 lots of quite strength and conditioning, cardio wise, more strength and conditioning this morning, but this evening certainly done cardio with the kettlebell, but also within the strength and conditioning world. So yeah, this is really good for the body. I can feel my knees are certainly getting ready for the whole rest, because your day's just starting and mine's obviously ending.
Yours is.
And I've got a very busy week ahead of me in clinic, so yeah.
Somebody is asking, how do you incorporate working out when you work 40 hours a week? So we can talk about that. And then Nate is mentioning, like, yeah, you increase your weights as you're ready, and that's exactly right. That's why a system like that is so fantastic.
Yeah, because you can increase and decrease. And one of the things that you've got to realise with lipedema is it's not about lifting heavy weights, it's about how to lift the weight.
Right.
And what you're doing with the weight, the actual increase of weight for us isn't a thing, because we're already carrying quite a lot of extensive weight. And you need to be very careful how much you add to that. And equally as well, because the joints are affected by this, lifting weight can cause injury. So we have to be careful with the amount of weight that we lift.
Right, which is why I didn't.
Deadlift or whatever, because a lot of us have got hypermobility, a lot of us have got EDS, and so you do not want to cause a problem to the collagen and the elastin within the body. So you've got to be careful. You have to realise that you have to be careful with what you use when you train. Working 40 hours a week, I'm going to be totally honest and say to you that going to the gym and working out for an hour or whatever is not what you need to do. If you could manage to do 20 minutes a day, you would see a massive change than you trying to push yourself for an hour and only getting a mediocre reaction from your muscles and from your body. Working out for 20 minutes a day is far better than pushing yourself to the extent of override, burnout, pain, exhaustion, inflammation. Don't do it. If you can find 20 minutes in the day or 15 minutes in the day, first thing in the morning is the best time, I feel, for us, because of the lipedema and the other illnesses that we've got in the body.
Because it's less swollen after a rest? Is that why?
Sorry?
Because it's less swollen after a rest?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's not because it's less swollen, it's because we haven't used anything. So, like, you get up in the morning and you're getting up to what's the start of your day. Mm-hmm. And so there's, you haven't really pushed yourself, you haven't used your joints, you haven't done anything. So if you do a workout in the morning, I feel like you're going to be able to isolate the muscle properly, which is where a lot of the build in our muscles come from, is isolation and slower moves. Well, if you did slower moves in a 20-minute window, you're going to see way more in a week than you are in an hour's session in the gym, where you're pushing yourself too far and too much and not obtaining the results that you're looking for.
When you do the fascia blaster, can you go both directions?
What do you mean?
Like when you do dry brushing, you're going in one direction, right?
With the fascia blaster, see, for me, with the fascia blaster, you're doing it over the top of your leggings, which is, yes, okay, great for you, mm-hmm. But 9 times out of 10, I'd say you want that fascia hot. Yeah. Before you even start to do fascia blasting.
Yes.
And yes, with fascia, because you're working to get through the fascia, so the teeth are moving through the fascia. This isn't about the lymph.
Okay, so it is okay to go in both directions.
Yeah, but don't go in a circle.
Correct. Right, so you're going back and forth like this is fine.
That's how you use the fascia blaster, but mm-hmm. Your fascia would be better off being hot, warmer, to the point of melted before you do it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. I'm not. That wasn't my real fascia blasting. It was 40 hours. Good afternoon. Cooking. We have some people who do cooking videos. Awesome. So now tomorrow do you think that you'll feel a great deal of resolution from the inflammation, or do you think it will take several days?
It's going to take several days.
And in my experience, that's very typical for someone within these disorders.
Yeah. About 48 to 72 hours. Very frustrating because I'm in clinic from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning right the way through to 8:30 tomorrow night. So it's a long day. So if you've got a long day like I've got, then you need to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water and flushing your system. And do like small exercises when and if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the muscles strong. Try and push the inflammation out. Dry brush when you get up in the morning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what things do you do during the day to move?
I do a lot of banded work. So if I have a window, 15-minute window, I'll do a lot of different banded work on my quads, my hamstrings, my calves. I'll do a lot of stretching, probably 5 lots of stretching throughout the day because I need to make sure that I am supple rather than seizing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot.
And do you do, when you do bands, do you put them around your legs? I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that doesn't hurt you anymore? That doesn't hurt your lipedema?
It's not necessarily comfortable, but I can see what needs. I can see the benefit of using them.
Yes, but they're not like digging into you, killing you. Like for me, that it absolutely kills, and it's not even a consideration at this point because of the pain.
No, okay, so maybe your lipedema is highly sensitive at the moment.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's just not a... So I can do any moves where it's not on me. Do you know what I'm saying? But if it has to be, like if I was going to sit here and do a band like that, no way. That would not be possible at all.
Yet.
No, right now. That's what I'm saying. Right now, that would not even be...
It took me a while to get used to that. But, yeah. It's not, like I said, it's not comfortable. But it...
And it doesn't cause you...
It slowly improves the muscle. It certainly helps me to carry my knees. So I find it really worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I now that I'm out and about in more places, I'm finding that whenever I'm like standing in a line somewhere, I'm not just standing there. I'm standing there doing toe raises, or I'm just, going, bouncing like this on, doing the action, or even just doing, toe raises or toe taps, so that, nobody's paying attention, nobody's seeing, nobody's, I'm sure they think I'm hyper active, like she just did still, but, or I'll do these little very slow move of, a little tiny bend, to just constantly keep moving so that it's not, stagnant, So, anyway, anything else we should share today?
I don't think there is. I think we've covered it.
I think we've
covered a lot of what we were going to talk about, which is good.
I think that yeah, and I think that the moral of the story of that you had a celebration. You're going to have a celebratory week. You're going to continue doing your daily work activities, but that means that you just have to provide yourself more care and be a little bit more gentle with yourself, which, being gentle with yourself can actually require more attention, right? So,
Yeah.
so, you know, um, and you have to be more cognizant of what areas um, maybe need the more push or the more flushing, where is it that you're holding it, and how can you um, work toward getting to that 72 hour, especially when there's more when there's more celebrating coming, and have to get rid of this bit before the next
towards
bit
the end of the week. So
right.
yes,
So
I'm fully aware that there is. See, for me, my knees are seizing just sitting there. But by the end of the week, yes, there is more celebrating, if you like, and it will be a case of doing this all over again. But you have to ask yourself, at what point do I not live a normal life?
Correct. Right. Exactly.
And for the last 2 years, like my 40th was last year, and whilst it was lovely, I wasn't able to see anyone. So
right.
This year's kind of making up for the 39th and the 40th. So I'm really grateful that my friends are doing what they're doing.
Exactly. One of the YouTube comments is that you have to keep staying active to keep your health, and
100% you do.
And so yes, that is, always be active, keep going strong. I can't quit doing what I'm doing, and you can't either. And that is the message for everyone. Keep being active, keep moving. I can't stop, neither can you. And if you have, you have to pick it up. There are so many people who have been so sedentary during the pandemic, at a minimum, more so than they were before. And so now, people have to resume being as active as they were, if not more, to kind of build up more resilience again. It doesn't just happen overnight, right?
No. Definitely not.
Oh, yes, someone is. Oh, yeah, that's good. Someone is pointing out that you have to do a lot of cardio, lower calories, and consume vegetables and drink a lot of water. So yes, I mean, certainly it's extremely helpful to follow a whole foods type eating regime, and a little cardio goes a long way, but in our case, strength training is really trumps any type of cardio work that we would do.
Cardio, whilst it's good, it needs to be low impact. Otherwise, you could have a lot of injury within the joints, and this is where there's a misunderstanding within the community of the lack of understanding that this is a connective tissue disorder, meaning that if the connective tissues are damaged, you cannot do certain things that are going to make it worse. So certain cardio things like high impact, for instance, can cause problems. They caused me problems. But at the time, I didn't know that I had hypermobility EDS. And there is a problem that majority of women who are diagnosed with lipedema don't know that they potentially have this other underlying illness, which, written in the standard of care, pretty much could be 98% of women.
Right. I think that it's extremely, you might have noticed that when we were finished, I was wrinkling out my arm kind of thing. And that's because straight out of college, I, at a very young age, I developed a tennis elbow that, depending on what I do, it triggers that. And it's now like this aha moment, like, of course, you know, the doctors would say, like, oh, we don't usually see this in anybody so young. I was like, well, but did you see this with young people with connective tissue disorder is what I would say
but
now,
at the time,
right?
like when that would have happened to you, connective tissue disorders, they, you know, lipedema's only just come on the spectrum of being a connective tissue disorder.
Yes. Oh, but I have to tell you something, Karen. I didn't tell you this. This is so good. I took my son for his sports physical the other day, and the doctor actually examined him. He did like he was checking the flexibility of his legs, and he was like, oh, like, you're very tight, you need to start stretching now, because if you're this tight now, you gotta work on that later. And then he additionally had him like doing touching toes and things like that, and how do you move your hand, you know, are you and he was shocked that my son could actually touch the ground, because he's like, oh my God, like, how can you be that flexible, but yet you're so tight as well. And so we got talking about Ehlers Danlos, and he knew all about it, and he was like, in his situation, I don't see that, because he doesn't have the typical markers for, you know, being, you know, probably far into the spectrum. But, you know, he said, since you're on the spectrum, it would be good to keep an eye on that for him, and know that when things happen as he plays sports, that you make sure that that's something that you take into account.
Well, my advice would be for him, before he goes to water polo at the weekend, is to do 15 minutes of warm up at home before you even leave, and when he gets home, do 15 minutes of cool down, so that he has got a stretch on those muscles and his tissues before he even starts playing, and then he's got the stretch again at the end where he can stretch the muscle out, because he's in the pool, and the water, he will be using a lot of muscle and force when he's playing the game. And so if he is stiff, there could be an issue where he is not stretching enough.
Right. Well, I keep telling him that he should, you know, go on the vibration plate before he leaves. He should go on the rebounder.
No, he just needs to do a stretch. Like, he needs to stretch the quads, the hamstrings, calves. He needs to do some wall stretches. Vibration plate, yes, but not for the actual stretch that he needs in that muscle. The vibration plate will help, because it will vibrate everything. But if he is on the spectrum of Ehlers Danlos and hypermobility, putting him on a vibration plate, as it did for me, caused me more problems than it's worth.
Is not necessarily helpful.
I'm trying to get rid of my vibration plate, because I haven't used it in such a long time, since I realised that that's what's caused the problem.
Yeah, and I'm using mine on a very short stint, you know, not for any kind of duration, and in very particular positions. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I thought that was fascinating that the guy even knew anything, and that he spoke about it, which was great. I thought that was excellent. So yeah, we always something.
Another fab talk today. Thanks.
All right. Everybody have a great Monday. I hope this helped you in some way to gain more insight, to help you with your own journey, and to recognize that, you know, movement is key, and it is medicine for those of us that are constantly trying to manage our chronic illnesses, that you know, they have a mind of their own, and they don't necessarily want to play fair. but it's always a learning each day, and it's always trying to improve on how you handle things from the day before. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back next week on Monday, but we will be back to our original time.
Oh yeah, we go an hour forward, don't we? So we will be back to 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
Right. So we will be back to 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 o'clock East Coast, and stay constant at the 6 o'clock over in the UK.
I'll change the post in the week. So yes. I'll take out the 11 and put the 10.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you so much. One more thing. Thank you, Nate. I think you asked, where did these leggings come from? Someone asked about this, and quite frankly, these leggings came from they came from Ross, actually, and the shirt is from Athleta. And don't ask where the hat is from. I think the hat was actually a hand-me-down, so I can't tell you about
that. Right, boys and girls.
So, see you, and have a beautiful week, and bye for now.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. See ya. Bye for now. Happy Monday. Go get it. Get your week on. Do those things that you need to do. Make it happen, okay? See ya. Bye. See ya. Thanks for joining. Be sure to subscribe, like, turn on your notifications. Bye for now.